Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hi everybody, it's a little bit windy out here, so I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me, but welcome to the video. Today I've got a little bit of a threshold tempo run, 10-minute warm-up here, and I got 5 times 5 minutes at threshold pace. I'm a little tired. Taught kindergarten this morning, but we'll see how we make out. Legs are a little bit tired from earlier in the week. Still feeling the leg workout I had on Monday. It's Wednesday now. Not when you see this, but when I filmed it. So we'll see. We'll see how we make out. All right. A couple minutes left in the warm-up, then we'll be ready to go.
Good day, wake up, today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo.
4, 3, 2, run.
Negative thoughts and poison they ride. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are
rest time, just for a minute. No, it's funny. Said my legs were tired. I didn't know how I was gonna do, but still, I ran that first one a little bit faster than I should have. So between the heat and the tired legs, really trying to find a way to get my heart rate under control. Less talking, more recovery. Number 2. Alright, super busy road beside me, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear me. Still ran that second one a little bit quick, but not bad. Felt pretty good. Just gotta hold on for 5 minutes, get a 60-second break, and then go again. Okay, number 3. And go.
Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication.
Okay. Number 3, it's done. Got 2 more. And a 10-mile cool down. 10-minute cool down. And it's off to job number 2. Number 4.
I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts.
Really light jog now. Before we start the last one. Heart rate is scratching up there. It's not coming down much. A minute doesn't leave me much time. So we're gonna go super light and push through the last 5 minutes for the food. Let's go. Last 5.
Live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
10 seconds.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Wow. What a workout. Push it a little bit hard. That's okay. I kept my pace is up. I mean, I'll check when we get back to the house and talk about it more. I definitely feel like I was able to keep my pace up. Okay, cool down. All right, so workout is done. Now I have a couple of thoughts and I don't know if I'll use this or whether I'll talk about it more when I'm actually back in the office. But one thing I will say is these glasses, now I have some Oakley glasses. I'll look up the name, put it up here. Some of you might know they're actually kind of classic, but they are prescription. And I don't wear a lot of contacts. So as I sort of venture off into maybe doing some trail running and different things, I wanted to try these out, but they're bouncing around an awful lot. They don't really feel super stable on my face. So I don't know, we're gonna find out whether these are gonna work long term. Maybe I just have to get used to them, but I feel a lot of movement and I'm feeling like they're not the best. In no way is this any sort of a sunglass review at all. It's just me mentioning that these ones, I don't know, maybe I have to try some Gooders or something that are more popular with the runners. The other thing I'll mention, and I'm going to talk about this when I talk about what marathon training plan I'm actually going to go with. Probably not going to mention it too much in this video, but I will say that I was looking at different programs and I was figuring out, trying to stick fairly close to that 80-20 rule, was that even when I was doing threshold runs or any sort of tempo stuff, it really kind of occurred to me that you're running easy in the beginning, like this one, 10-minute warm-up. You got 60 seconds in between reps and then 10 minutes at the end. So those are at an easy pace to warm up and cool down. But the only problem is I notice my heart rate, even when I'm in sort of a cool down pace, even when I'm going extremely slow, it's still, my heart rate doesn't go down that far. You have to remember that you're stressing out the body quite a bit when you're doing any sort of threshold or tempo or intervals. You are stressing the body out. So even though I'm slowing way down, that 10-minute cool down, that whole cool down, my heart rate was still pretty high. And if I was going by heart rate, that wouldn't be considered an easy pace. Even though it felt easy, I was tired, it felt easy, but it wasn't easy pace. Sorry, I've got a plane going overhead right now. Anyways, probably gonna talk more about this back at the office. But that's my initial thoughts about this run. It was pretty good, but yeah, I have to really do some thinking on whether the logic in my head over what the easy pace is and whether it is actually an easy pace if my heart rate is still elevated. Can I count that cool down as an easy pace part of my training? Let me know your thoughts and comment down below. I'll see you at the office.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the office, and yes, that was a pretty good run for me and pretty solid, and this week is full of important runs for me, and I want to talk about why that is for just a minute now. If you do follow my channel, first of all, if you haven't been following my channel and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It definitely helps me out so much. It's free for you to do. Hit that subscribe button now. It really does help me and motivates me to make the videos. Enough of that, let's get into talking about this run and why these runs this week are so important to me. Now, first of all, I did do successfully, I feel successfully, that I trained for my first marathon, ran that marathon in a time of 4 hours, 5 minutes and 49 seconds. That's going to be a little bit on the slow side for some of you, but keep in mind I've never run anything before, and I decided to start running in late fall. I was never really a cardio person. But in that training program, I actually used the Higdon intermediate program, one of those programs, and it was very helpful for me, and it was successful in me needing to build up my base so I was going to be able to run the mileage that I needed to run to be able to complete the marathon and feel strong doing that and keeping a pace that I felt that I could hold. All that went really, really well. But in this next program, I do want to mix it up quite a bit more, and that's what's attracted me to, there's a few reasons, and I'll go over that in another video, but one of the things that's attracted me to the Garmin program that I'm going to be running for the marathon is these different workouts that I'm going to be doing, like interval sessions, tempos, hills, even going to be running some trail, mixing in some trail runs, which I'm super, super excited about. But all of these things that I get to do to maybe be able to build up my pace at shorter distances, have a little bit more fun playing with different paces. One thing I do notice though is that pretty well on every session that I do, whether it's at marathon pace or even if I'm running hills or tempos or intervals, is that I tend to run them a little bit faster than my target. And for this particular one, this interval session yesterday, I did exactly that. Now, just to say again, I probably said this when I was out on the run, but what this session was it was an interval session where I had a 10-minute warm-up, a 10-minute cool down that turned into about 15 minutes of cool down because I did have an extra 5 minutes where I walked back to the car. And we're also looking at 5 times 5 minutes of threshold pace running with a 60-second recovery in between those runs. Now my threshold pace, based on that first marathon that I just ran, when you pump it into a few calculators, probably puts me at about 5:15 to 5:24 per kilometer. I think that's about right. I'll put what I actually calculated out to be up here on the screen, and we'll talk more about how I got to that in another video. But for this video, that particular run, my paces ended up being 5:09 per kilometer for the first one, 5:12 for the second, 5:08 for the third, 5:07 for the fourth, and 5:09 for the fifth. So a little bit ahead of what my pace was. And I was aware of that, and I said that when I was out on the run, felt like I was running a little bit faster than I had to. I just tend to push the pace a little bit. To be honest with you, I know if I'm going to be successful in this training program, I do have to be careful that I'm not pushing it too hard. Not every run, most runs, the goal is not to completely wear yourself out because you got to put in a lot of mileage throughout the week. But me being me, I would much better, for my own sake, for my own sort of mental toughness, or where how you mentally feel about how you did is important. It's very, very important. And to feel that I gave it what I could give it, oftentimes I'm probably going to run them a little bit faster than I should. That's just me. I'm working on it because I have to be working on my paces at these different distances, these different types of runs. But that's me. That was the run. It felt really, really good. And I'm super excited to move forward with this Garmin program. One of the reasons why I said, when I first came back and talked to you just a couple minutes ago here in the office, one of the reasons why I said this week was pretty important and some of these runs were pretty important was just like when I did the last marathon training program for those, next week is when I officially start the 16-week Garmin program, is that for the 2 weeks leading into, or at least a week leading into any big training block, for me at least, one of the things that I like to do is actually do the first week of that program over again a couple of times leading into the actual first week, because it really gives me a gauge on whether it's the appropriate program for me or not. Because if I'm feeling like I'm being pushed but not too far, solid right on. But if it feels like it's way too much in terms of volume or in terms of effort, in terms of how much hard work I have to do, that it's just going to wear me out and I won't be able to complete the program, that's the time to test it. So this week of going through a week of that Garmin marathon program is really, really important to me. And the one other thing I did have to say, because I brought them back here in the house, is that I mentioned these glasses when I was out on the run, and these are the Oakley Flak sunglasses, Flak 2.0. Now, they're great, and I do have them because they are a prescription, and that's what they had when I got my 2-for-1 with my glasses at the store. And I don't like wearing contacts very much, but the one thing I noticed about these aren't gooders, and these aren't necessarily for running, and I do find that they bounce around a little bit, so I don't know if I need to make another solution for that and come up with something different, but not exactly the glasses I want to be wearing running. Not a full review, just to let you know that these might not work for me. It's what I have, so it's what I'm going to use for now, but hopefully I can get into something a little bit more running related. That's it. That's the video. I'm super, super excited. Please consider subscribing to my channel. I've got so much content coming up over the summer that I'm excited to share with you. Next video, you're probably going to see something on the Garmin training program that I'm actually going to be doing and why. My name is Matt. This is What Matters to Matt, and ultimately what matters to me most is my family. I'll see you in the next one.